if we don't have a key to get in, and someone has to come up there and let us in, that's gonna take time. And if you're having a heart attack, or if your house is on fire, if you take 2 minutes to get out of that truck, like Connie said, and unlock that gate, and then go in there, that's gonna be 2 minutes more that house is gonna be burning, or somebody's not gonna be breathing.
How many
Is there
houses
let
are
me
in
ask
that
one
area
question.
you're speaking of?
Good point.
Were you in
Fire
there?
department.
Even once
Hang on.
it is there.
That's, no, that's us,
Right,
those two houses.
okay. But
And
that's
Fire
not
the
your
department.
house.
gates,
Fire
the gates
department.
that were, there's no
Roger
three houses.
runs
Let's
it.
try
Is
to
there any
ask.
roads-
Out on that ridge possibly, that's been burned once by vandals?
Are there any
Hey.
roads now in the area of the Mud River Fire Department that you service that are gated and locked that you have to deal with?
No,
Not that I can think
Not
of.
the fire department people.
No.
no.
All right.
I just want to say that, you know, it appears like the debate here is the quickest way to get back to Pea Ridge, the quickest way to get to the cemetery, the quickest way to access people to serve. The quickest way to get to Pea Ridge Cemetery, and you can look on the map, and anybody in here should confirm this,
It ain't.
is Route 64.
You can't do it.
Well,
No.
the issue here is it's a public road and who has the right to close it? That's the issue.
Thing about it is,
So I've heard all I need to hear, I think. I really am going to ask the parties involved to, you guys see if you can work out a solution between now and the 24th day of June. That's our next meeting. And at that meeting, we'll have to make a decision. But it gives you time to think about it, talk about it. Yes, ma'am.
I just had a few things to say. I was born and raised back here in West Virginia. I had to leave in 1953 in order to find work. A comment for you. You ain't in this thing alone. When I moved to Michigan in 1953, I was voted twice, absentee ballot, down here in Lincoln County. And that was the first election, the first year after I moved there, the next election. Presidential election, by the way. So don't feel bad, you ain't this thing alone. The feds came to my house in Michigan and asked me, had I voted? I said, yes, sir. I voted here in Michigan. So I got to vote 3 times that year. That was one that the paper ought to have. Anyway, I'll get back to the issue of closing the road. I'm Loretta Lovejoy, and I married Lovejoy, who has, his mother was a Cummings. And the Adam Cummings place belonged to my husband's grandfather. And my grandfather, as I call him, Adam Cummings, he cherished that place. And the whole generations that came down after him took care of the roads and took care of the places. I don't think they had any, they didn't even have WPA when I was a little girl. But I wanted to say one thing. The state is really neglecting the people that pay the taxes back here. And I don't even live here, but I pay a lot of money for taxes, not just on Pea Ridge. And I cannot even get them to come and scrape a road in front of my house over on Upton's Creek, my family airship house. I own part of it. And they don't, the state, I asked them over and over, come over there with your bulldozer and stop them from going down through my bottom with their 4-wheelers. Now, if you want to do anything for this county, and I have no objections to using 4-wheels correctly, but use them where they need to be driven, not on people's private property. Now, he owns all of that property from where he said back to the Commons property. But that road was there when I was born. It was there before I was ever born. My husband told me stories of how Adam Cummings used to have his wife cook all day on Sunday while they went out there on somewhere there on the ridges and had church. And everybody came through there, came home and stopped at the Adam Cummings place for dinner. And she didn't even go to church, but she cooked all day for everybody to come through there. Those are stories that mean a lot to me. And not only that, there's one thing I'd like to know, is why on earth do I have to come home 370 some miles? I come home to go out there to my property, and I can't get in. My son and I came one year, and we couldn't even get in. The gate was locked, we didn't have a key. Guess what? I went home to where I have a telephone, and I called every Tony in the telephone book. And I couldn't get anybody to tell me they had a key to that gate. So I had to go home empty-handed, not getting to see my grandfather and all my husband has also Lovejoy's are buried out there. So that's quite an ancestry of history buried there at that cemetery. And if you want to do anything to solve this problem, maintain the road that the mail carrier has that goes back to Pea Ridge Cemetery, maintain the road that comes up through there up to the creek, and get your law enforcement out there and patrol that night and day till you catch these no good bums that are causing all the trouble. That's all I have to say.
I thought it was a right to all property owners, not only here, but in Kanawha County, that there had to be a right-of-way and a free way to get into your property, that no one could put anything up to hinder you getting back to your property.
I think you have to have access to your.
Yes, I mean, I thought that was the law, that was not only law, but that is our right.
That road he's talking about, it comes across from Indian Grave or Ranger Road. From that point on top of that hill, back over to the cemetery is over 2.5 miles.
No, I'm talking about the road that comes from up the creek, straight.
You going from up at Mud River and go up that way?
Yeah, straight,
Yeah.
straight through the bank.
So you got the nice,
We had to go, you can't get us here.
our problem is we got the nice paved road and we come up through there and it's nice and paved and we can make a lot better time than coming across that way. So,
Let me ask you something, what happens if he quits maintaining the road?
well,
I mean, I
he
know-
maintained, I mean, he spends his gravel, whatever he spent on it. I mean,
And the-
we're still driving up, matter of fact, where he comes out of Mud River, up through there, it's pretty nice and flat. I think the gas company, because I come up there one time when I was working, and when my dad died, we was digging his grave, and we waited for the trucks to get over. They had made a way to get out. I don't know why they didn't stick the gate all the way down there to the Mud River. It was, stick it down there. But where his house comes and their house comes, it's nice and smooth. And then once we take that hill where he's got the gate at, it takes off steep.
It's very
And there's a lot of rock bed, I mean, it's a lot of rock, so it's not, when it washes out, and it washes out, because they came when they put the ditch lines and they put some pipe on the ground and they did it half-assed. And anyways, and then when they take it up, once you get up the top of it, it's smooth on out, from on out. There's a little mud hole right there where we gotta hit, but it's not deep.
Now, are you maintaining that area he's talking
No.
about?
Yeah, that's the way the gas company agreement for them to maintain while they're in their drilling.
What you maintain, maybe 500 feet?
Six
that
tenths
far?
of a mile.
Six-tenths of a mile coming through there?
Measured it, yes.
Well, I didn't think it
The
was that
road
far.
he's talking about taking,
Yeah.
at the foot of the hill, I was just through there the other day on a four-wheeler. That's all you can get through there is a four-wheeler, that road. And believe me, my grandson was scared to death to go through there because that's all you can get through there,
That's
and
rough.
it's rough. You can't get no vehicle up through there.
Well, that lends credence to the argument
Yep.
that since that is a state road, that perhaps the state needs to look into maintaining that road. And if all the landowners, who I think since are tax-paying individuals, made an effort or
I agree.
petitioned the state, perhaps that could be looked into. Because I think as landowners, we have a legitimate right to petition the state to ask that that road be maintained.
Well, if you want the quickest
Even
way
if
to
they
do it-
do